7 months ago, I finished my undergrad studies and knew that I was done with academia. I just wanted to create stuff, be free, learn by doing, earn money, and start building a scalable business. Since then, I ideated a lot, looked into many different fields, then dived deep into AI-driven development to be able to build software myself. I created and launched several apps, and just learned a lot along the way when it comes to building a business from zero. In this video, I'm going to share 5 of those learnings with you. So if you're thinking about becoming an entrepreneur yourself, starting a business, then this might be helpful. Alright, lesson 1, ideas don't matter. This is a typical rookie mistake that many people do, starting this ideation phase. I myself did it as well, and just over-engineered a huge list of business ideas in all kinds of fields, evaluating and ranking them along many different factors. And this took a lot of time and didn't really lead anywhere. And then I also fell into the trap thinking that ideas have to be unique. Like whenever I saw, someone else is already doing that, I moved on and looked for another thing. And this is complete bullshit. The truth is, ideas don't matter. They're not like bus seats. Oops, this is taken. Well, I'm gonna look for another one then.
Seats taken. Taken.
The idea itself is worthless. Everyone can have ideas. What really matters is the execution of it. And ideas don't have to be unique. As long as it's not in a winner-takes-all market, taking already existing and validated ideas can be a very effective strategy, especially in the beginning. Don't desperately try to be unique and spend countless hours building useless shit and overcomplicating this whole ideation phase. I think it's more important to figure out an industry or a rough problem space that you're excited about and where you have some kind of unfair advantage, be it expertise, skills, network. And when evaluating that and thinking about that, really think, do you see yourself doing that long term? Do you see yourself interacting with the people in those space for years, being still excited about the topic? I think this is the most important part, the longevity aspect of it. And for this, you don't need to have a concrete idea. You just need to commit into like a rough industry and problem space. And the exact idea, the first idea you start with won't be the idea that like the final business will have anyways. You constantly iterate and develop. So just have the starting point, really think about the longevity, and then go on from there. And then just build stuff. Copy what has been working before, listen to people, and drop your ego and build what the market wants, not what you want. You can always make it cool, unique, and personal to you later on. But it's very important to have this foundation first. Realizing that, I decided to go all in into the marketing space, in particular personal branding and content creation, as I already had a lot of expertise in that field and was genuinely excited about it. So I did customer discovery, talked to a lot of people, but quickly realized that there's a big discrepancy between what people say and what they actually do. Which brings us to lesson number 2. The only real validation is money. In the end, a business is about making money, not raising money and also not staying pre-revenue forever.
No revenue. I'll call you back. What? If you show revenue, people will ask how much and it will never be enough. But if you have no revenue, you can say you're pre-revenue. You're a potential pure play.
The amount of upvotes, positive comments, or recognition you get doesn't mean shit. It may sound shallow, but at the end of the day, all that matters is that you find someone who finds what you build so valuable that he or she pulls out their credit card and pays for it. Talk is cheap. The ultimate validation is money. And for this, the faster you launch, the better. Or even better, getting people to prepay before the product even exists. Then you know they really want it. This can save you a lot of time. For example, I was at a hackathon building a newsletter aggregation tool. By the way, hackathons are a really great way to be forced to ship fast and be very frugal in what you're building. So I always try to start the first MVP for a product at a hackathon. I was building this newsletter aggregation tool. The core idea was pretty simple. A lot of people have a lot of chaos in their email inbox, subscribed to a lot of newsletters that they never read, and it just leads to a lot of clutter. And my thought was, how about you aggregate all those newsletters on a weekly basis and use AI to generate an entertaining, summarizing podcast episode out of it. 10 minutes of all the essence of the newsletters you received in that time, and it's delivered right to you via WhatsApp. That was the idea. I received a lot of positive feedback from it. And so I spent those 2 days at the hackathon building a first MVP. I even posted on LinkedIn about it. The post got a lot of positive feedback, and around 40 people wrote me that they were interested in it and would like to use such a tool. So initially, positive market signal. I had this paywall, a simple landing page, and sent it to everyone that was interested in it. And a lot of people signed up, but not a single person paid for it. So this clearly shows that while it might have been a nice idea, it's not a good business. Sure, you could have also thought about other monetization methods like advertising and stuff, but the costs for the AI podcast generation and stuff were so high that subscription pretty much was the only valid way to monetize. And yeah, I realized, okay, that's not it. And thankfully, because I shipped very fast and was very frugal about it, I saved a lot of time in the process. Lesson 3. Follow the entrepreneurial step ladder. This is a tough one. In my mind, it was clear to me I want to directly build a big scalable software business. And sure, you can try that. People do succeed. But for inexperienced entrepreneurs, this might not be the smartest thing to do. There's an interesting essay about this by Nathan Barry, where he basically argues that making money is a skill, just like playing the piano, that you can learn and get better with over time. And there's a reliable progression that anyone can take, or rather a series of ladders side by side. Each one can climb to different heights in both the quality of business and potential earnings. And in this model, the potential earnings increase the higher up each ladder you climbed, and they also increase as you move left to right to more advanced ladders. But the difficulty increases with each move as well, so each step requires that you learn new skills to overcome those new challenges. So instead of directly trying to climb all the way up on the right ladder, it can make a lot of sense to start where you are and progress from there. I'm roughly here, so instead of directly trying to build a SaaS, it could make sense to first look at recurring productized services. And that is exactly what I'm trying now. I did launch a first SaaS MVP in the personal branding field that I'm committed to, and the launch went fairly successful. We got hundreds of waitlist signups and also positive feedback, but converting those people into paying customers, paying recurring customers, and taking their feedback, evaluating the feedback to actually build a one-fits-all solution that works for itself is insanely hard. So instead of moving forward and trying to do that, I'm first trying to build a productized service business around that. Such a business is recurring and way more streamlined than classic freelance or agency work, but there's still some room for customization and there's a human in the loop. So you make revenue from day one, you're very close with your customers so you can learn faster, you can charge more because it's a service, not a software, and in the background you automate as much as possible to increase your margins. This model is becoming increasingly interesting with AI because that enables way more complex automations than previously possible. So yeah, that's what I'm currently at. But there's another thing, a very important aspect to consider, which brings us to lesson number 4. Niche down in the beginning. Why niche? Because even if you think you niche down enough, you should niche down even more. This is another reason why it was so hard to evaluate the feedback of my first users from the SaaS MVP. Because I didn't have a clear target customer in mind. The people on the waitlist had so many different backgrounds and requirements. So yeah, it wasn't enough to just niche down in one axis regarding the space, like personal branding, content creation. I should have also directly made really clear who I'm targeting, what is like the customer group I'm looking for, and then use those two axes to find the perfect starting point and go on from there. This then also makes it much easier to sell and productize your offering. But the process of niching down itself is unfortunately not that easy. It's a lot of trial and error, and this is where I'm currently at. Lesson 5, the power of building in public. That is the underlying principle in all of this. The easier it becomes to build products, the harder it is to distribute them. Distribution is the new mode, and for successful distribution, you need a lot of attention and trust. And I believe personal branding and building in public through content is the best way, the best sustainable way to achieve that, because people like to trust people, not faceless companies. And there are many examples from recent years of entrepreneurs that did this and showed that this assumption holds true. I love creating content, so this comes in very handy, and I experimented a lot with it in the past months, first on LinkedIn, now on YouTube, but I made one big mistake with this. I created, not documented. This made it time-consuming and not very well connected to what I'm actually doing. It often felt like the content part and the business part were kind of working against each other, not enhancing each other. So moving forward, I definitely want to change this. I don't want to completely get rid of it because I just love creating those video essays, but I definitely want to document more, just being who I am, doing what I do, and authentically capture the journey that I'm on, not overthinking the whole content creation part. Gary Vee also has a great essay on this. Some other people call it sawdust content. I'm sawing my life, and the sawdust that emerges from it is then the content. Alright, those were 5 of my learnings so far. If you're on a similar journey, comment below what your learnings were, and feel free to subscribe to not miss out on any of the future sawdust content I'm going to produce. See you in the next one.